Hey everybody, it's Robin Nolan, and in this video you're going to see me give some constructive feedback to Nathan Wilson's soloing video on minor swing. Nathan's brand new to Gypsy Jazz. He's just joined the Gypsy Jazz Club, and if you saw the video before this, you saw me critiquing his rhythm on minor swing. Well, in this video we're looking at soloing and improvising. So this is really useful if you're learning how to solo and improvise in Gypsy Jazz, and especially on minor swing. And this is just one of the ways that I'm able to help club members, as well as private Zoom calls and lots of awesome action in the Gypsy Jazz Club. So consider taking your 14-day free trial at the club. We would love to welcome you. Just go to gypsyjazzclub.com. Okay, for now, sit back, relax, and watch this positive feedback video for Nathan Wilson's soloing on minor swing.
Again, and in this video I'm going to review your video where you're playing solo, improvising lead on minor swing. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to watch the video, I'm going to stop it, give you feedback, comments and suggestions. So here we go, and thanks for sending this video. This really helps. So here we go. Okay, so you're playing the melody, the motif to minor swing there, and it's pretty much perfect, pretty much great. You're obviously, again, like I said in the rhythm video, I like you're playing because we can work, because you're in time, so you haven't got like a problem with your time. So that means that we can move forward quite quickly. So you're playing this. You played the chord there, but in your rhythm track, I think you're playing the E7. There's two ways of playing this. The way that I usually play it is the rhythm guy will hang on the E7, right, in the break, and so will you. So will the soloist. So you could either go E, or there's lots of fancy things you can do, but you're basically thinking E7. And I think you played an A minor type chord. So just be consistent with the backing track. The backing track has got an E7 in that break, so therefore you're going to do something over E7. It could just be the E7 chord. It could be the open E note. It could be a different E7 type chord. It could be a harmonic. There's lots of options there, but I think you know now what I'm saying about the concept. So be aligned with the backing track. So now we're going into the solo. Here we go. Yeah, there's some really good elements there. I can tell that you're playing a little bit of that Django solo. There's little elements of that in there. So whatever you're doing to learn that, keep that going, because even just quoting bits of that solo sounds really good. What I'm going to do, kind of like the rhythm, is just strip it back. So even though you might be learning, for example, the 3 hot solos, which I sent you the link to in the club here, and Django's solo, at the same time, I think we want to just make sure that we're covering the fundamentals. So obviously you're keen to get going with all the cool stuff, but let's just cover the real basics. So what I'd like you to do is just play a solo using the triads, okay? You know the Dark Eyes course that I think you've checked out by now? We really start from using triads and developing the triads. And what we want to do, obviously, before we get too fancy, is be able just to play over the A minor, play over the D minor, and play over the E7 in a really basic way. So the basic way is just using the dum, 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 dum. So before we even go further, it would be worth taking a step back. And when the rhythm's going over A minor, you're just going to go use these notes. Bum, 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 bum. Right? And in a rhythmic way, you might go do, da, 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 do. When it goes to the D minor, you're going to go do, 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 da, do, do, do. There's your D minor triad, right? Right? D, F, A. And you can also start on the A. Right? So A minor, A, C, E, A, do, 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 do. D minor, A, D, F, A. Right? When we go to the E7, you've only got to learn 3. Right? There's only 3 chords in this piece. G sharp, B, E, G sharp, for example. See, G sharp, B, E, G. There's the, see that D shape? Like we know D, right? When we play D. If we just slide that up to E, that's the kind of visual reference that we've got. We're going to go. Right? So when it's on A minor, we're using these notes. For now, this is the most basic way, right? Do, 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 do. Chord changes to D minor. Do, 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 do. Chord changes to E7. Do, 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 do. A minor. Do, 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 do. The progression carries on. D minor. Do, 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 do. Right? You'll start. Just the first thing is to only limit yourself to these notes, Nathan, and do a little bit of improv with them. So when it's going A minor, right, you're going to go stick to that chord. Do, 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 da, da, do, 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 da, da, do, da, da, do, 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 da, da, do, da, do, da, da, do. So whatever order you play them in, you're going to use these 3 shapes: A minor, D minor, and right, to base your improv. And this will just make sure that you're really covering the chords in its most fundamental way, okay? And then what we're going to do, obviously, is, approach each note of those triads from a fret below or a semitone below. That will be the first step. D minor, E7, and even that will give you a lot of kind of mileage to start making a solo which is always, fitting the chords. There's obviously really nice things that you're doing in your solo. And you're obviously coming from blues like me, so you're doing, there's always things like that. But I think let's just build up your soloing skills from scratch, okay? So each piece you're going to learn, you're going to just get the triads, the basic shapes over each chord. Let's carry on with the solo anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that's great, actually. Great. Yeah, so there's lots of things there which are pretty advanced and you're already doing. So, that last thing, like Django does a line. Right, he does a line in one of his solos like that. So that's always a nice idea. You're already doing those enclosures, Right, so you're using that sound. You started doing a nice chord thing, so the A minor 9, right? That's like the first inversion you would use, like, right? D minor, you could just slide it up, yeah, or you could use a rhythm chord. or this chord is great for D minor while we're at it. So open A, F, A, open B, open E. This is a Django D minor 6, which he uses in his solos sometimes. You can kind of go, kind of strum that one. So when you get to the E7, you did the octaves. Just so you know, you're going to fit diminished chords on the E7, right? So you're gonna. What I do visually, I've got E7 there on the 7th fret. And the diminished chord related to that is right here on the 6th fret, right? So that's the diminished, whatever it's called, that's the one that relates to E7. We know that visually because there's your E7, there's your, right? So when you've got that chord, obviously you know you can go down to the 3rd fret, 6th fret, 9th fret, and 12th fret. So every time you've got E7 going, you can go, so A minor, whatever rhythm you're using, D minor, E7, diminished, up to D minor, right, E7. One little trick when you've got your E7 using the diminished on a 6th fret, extend the pinky one to get a nice tension. Resolves. Right, that's quite nice. Let's carry on. So what I said before about really going back to the basics still stands. Obviously, you can see that you've got lots of facility and ideas, but I think it's also good just to restrict yourself to the harmony of the chord as well. Awesome. Yeah, so what happens with a lot of players coming from blues when they hit the E7, that's the bit, because when we play over A minor, no problem. When we play over D minor, right, no problem. But the E7, you carried on playing the kind of minor pentatonic over A. That's where you really want to get in the cracks of that E7. The easiest way to do that is the A harmonic minor scale, which is right. So that's A minor harmonic scale, but it works nicely on the E7. So and hear it over the E. Right, it sounds good. So A minor harmonic for your E7. Cool. Cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. So the ending, like you can go. But let's not worry about the moment. I think just to recap what I'd like you to do after seeing you improvise on minor swing is keep the really cool ideas that you've got going, but we want to kind of upgrade, get rid of the stuff which is a little bit mumbly, a little bit foggy over those. Some of the ideas are great, right? But some are a little bit, like, especially over the E7s, not really in the changes. So let's just take a step back. When we're playing over A minor, just go, right, notes in that, D minor, E7. And then try and be creative with those notes. So like you're going, D minor, going to D minor, A minor, so I'm just playing basically minor, the scale, D minor, on the E7, obviously, really works well. So the next video for your solo, I'd like to see you being creative with the basic triads. But this is great, Nathan. I appreciate you sending a video, and this is a great way to work. So all the best. Have a great day, and look forward to talking soon.